Sip. Welcome again to Dad's Kitchen. Guess what we're having tonight? Chicken Parm. One of your favorites, I think. And this is, it's simple enough, as you'll see from the ingredients. And here they are right here. We have some breadcrumbs, Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, which we're going to put in one dish. And the chicken is going to be dipped in egg whites, just to lessen the calories. And then, of course, we have boneless breast, skinless, boneless breast of chicken. And then, now that's good enough. You can just have the chicken by itself. But then if you're going to put it in a sauce to make it truly chicken parm, just buy a can of pastine sauce and of your favorite spaghetti sauce, mix them together, and that's great. Now to begin, what we're going to do is take a knife that's used to fillet fish or chicken or meat. You can see it's serrated. You can maybe see those tiny little teeth, which makes it easier to cut meat with it. And we're going to take this and we're going to cut the chicken lengthwise. I've already trimmed this with a set of kitchen shears right here. Kitchen shears, which are very useful to cut vegetables, or I use it mainly for meat. So I've already trimmed away all the fat. There's no fat on here at all. And now I'm going to take this knife and hold it parallel to the counter and cut right in the middle of this piece of chicken. Kind of hold it firmly from the top and cut as nearly as you can right through the middle of it. See that? And we end up with two pieces, very thin. And it doesn't have to be any thicker than that, because when you cook it, it's going to plump up. It's going to be just perfect. And it will cook faster this way as well. We have everything prepared to make it easy. That's what I'd suggest, is that you get everything here. As you see right here, we have the chicken already. It's already trimmed and filleted. We have the breadcrumbs, maybe a cup and a half of breadcrumbs, and we have maybe just a half a cup of egg whites. So we're just going to do this step by step, and they will end up on the wire rack before going on the griddle, which I'll explain. Here we go. So we're just going to dip this in egg white, shake it, get off the excess, put it in here, and just kind of press it down to make sure it gets all coated on both sides. Shake it a little bit, and then shake off the excess and put it right on the wire rack. And just repeat that for every piece. We're all ready. I've breaded 4 pieces of chicken, and I'm using a griddle. I'm using the griddle that you got for me for Christmas. Thank you. And I use it all the time for pancakes. So it's very handy, and this was not expensive either. So we're going to put olive oil. That's one thing I didn't mention. We have some olive oil here, and I have a silicone brush, which is great, as opposed to a regular bristle brush, because this will not burn. You can put it on a hot surface, and this is very hot. What I'd suggest is that if you don't have a griddle, use a frying pan, and just brush the surface with olive oil. Have the pan very hot. See how it's beginning to smoke? You don't want it smoking, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit. And I have a hood going here, a fan going. Make sure that smoke doesn't go in the house and set off all the alarms. And so we're going to brush this with oil. And now we're going to put the chicken on. One piece at a time. We're going to have to coat it again when we go to turn these. But you're going to brown them on one side and then turn them over on the other. One other tool. Plastic tongs that we're going to use to turn these. You can see that they've already become nice golden brown. Put just enough oil on the griddle or on the fry pan so that it's hot enough to brown them quickly, and they're cooking at the same time. So now what we're going to do is one by one. I haven't figured out an easier way to do this. We're just going to take our oil one by one, put a little oil underneath, and turn them over. We're going to do this all over again on the other side. Not too much oil, but enough to get it to brown. We've been cooking these for about 5 minutes, I'd say, 5 minutes on each side. And you can see it's brown on pretty much on both sides. One little trick here is just to kind of, with your tongs, just kind of pressing down to make sure, because there's a smooth side and a rough side to these chip breasts. This is the smooth side, so it browned nicely. For these to brown underneath, you're going to have to kind of push them down occasionally, get it all nice and evenly brown, and then they're done. You just got to have to be a little careful not to tear the breading off of the breast. So these are done, and all we're going to do now is take them off here and put them onto our wire rack so that they have a chance to cool. And I've put paper towels underneath because otherwise they're going to sweat on top of the counter and the moisture will show up underneath. We're done. That was easy, quick and easy, and very, very delicious. Now you can use this. Now we've done this with chicken. You can use it for fish like haddock or maybe salmon if you wanted to. And you don't have to use whole breasts. You can have little chicken tenders and do it the same way. And you can have them just as chicken with maybe potato or rice and a veggie, or you can have it as I suggested with a sauce which combines these two, and then place it over spaghetti, and then the chicken, and then the sauce. Maybe sprinkle a little cheese on it and put it in the oven. Now these are about done, but I would, just to be sure, I would put them in the oven at 375 for maybe 15 minutes, just to finish them off if they're thicker. These are pretty thin, and so these are all done, and now I get to taste them.